Hello everyone. Welcome to Outriders Worldslayer. Today we have developers' first update post-launch. Many things are coming, but I'm not going to read the whole article. It's a whole, I will link the description. I'm going to mention the key points what we're getting. So, we're getting two patches. A large patch by the end of July, and a smaller patch by this Tuesday, 12th of July. So they mention a lot of things. First thing, the philosophy of design. Basically, they say that they want to give the players the most fun content, but also the most efficient ways to play, but still be fun. Let's start with realignment of Tarya Gratar rewards. This is very important. This Tuesday, July 12th, this change will be made. There is a way to farm infinitely the arbiter in Tarya Gratar. This is going to be removed because using the retries and a friend or a second account, you could farm it indefinitely. Also, if you run solo, you can farm the arbiter 4 times in case you haven't run using the retries. So probably they're going to remove that as well. I'm not sure. For now, I'm not sure how I feel about this change. I'm feeling okay about the infinite farm. Yes, that's an exploit, and exploit should be removed. But farming the arbiter 4 times, I liked because it was a little more rewarding. I was looking forward to going to the arbiter without dying, so I was making my best not to die during Tarya Gratar and kill the arbiter 4 times. Now about the philosophy and design we mentioned earlier, they're going to add an apocalypse level legendary RNG in the optional areas in Tarya Gratar. So this RNG will just probably help you with a variety of the gameplay as I mentioned, while also having the most efficient way. However, they're going to reduce the final Arbiter Apocalypse legendary drop gear. You will still get to choose a legendary ward, but you will still get less. So I'm okay with this change in case we can still farm him 4 times. In case we can't, I don't know how I feel about this because these changes will make the other areas more attractive while also helping to ensure an overall run through of the trial becomes more rewarding than before. Compared to before, they say that the apocalypse is more fun to run the whole Tarya Gratar to have more variety, but I honestly disagree. Because this way, you remove the best option to get the most legendaries we get, and we have to run through the whole the whole trial. That's the same. It's not something different, it's not RNG. So we have to run a much longer route to get fewer RNG legendary apocalyptic gears, and honestly, I don't like this personally. Especially when I have to find the fake Yagak, the new fake Yagak. This is my worst fight by far when I say go to Tarya Gratar. I don't know, I play music in the background. It's very boring in my opinion. I have to run 4 or 5 minutes to go to the other pillar and wait to kill this guy. And now that I have to go to all the other areas to get one legendary random drop. Okay, I don't know if you have tried to get the perfect mods for Apocalypse Tier gear. It's very hard. And because everything is the same, after, I don't know, 10, 50, 100 runs, you will still face the same problem. Instead of just facing a lot of arbiters, you're going to face a lot of trials. In my opinion, if they want to make some changes, make something that a lot of people suggested. Just make Tarya Gratar more RNG. I don't know. About the spawn points, some trials can give you specific gear which is good, but make RNG, I don't know, even the spawns, the bosses that the spawn, something else, or what we can get, make it a little different. Make each experience new. Even if there are 10, 15 or 20 new experiences only, you will still feel that you're doing something new. Or make some changes to the expeditions. Yeah, ask a lot of things, but this is how you change variety, not just nerfing something else. So let's talk about balancing builds. They are going to nerf some things and they keep an eye of some things, but not now. They have to do it on the larger parts. So they haven't mentioned which builds they think they're overpowered. They have mentioned, for example, that a few builds instantly one-shot bosses regardless of difficulty, and they make all content trivial and ruin any co-op fun because they say that when you run a co-op, my teammate kills the boss from long range before I'm using the skill. They say this is unfun. Yes, in a way this is unfun, and some builds are completely broken. But I don't know which builds they're talking about because I have seen some Technomancer builds that are insane. some nice trickster builds from close range that are insane, or pyromancer or even devastator. There are builds that they mention the devastator. For example, they say that some builds are virtually indestructible. They are putting a large amount of damage and they don't take any damage. So I have a new flash for you. In Outriders New Horizon, the devastator, the build, without having anything else, with purple gear, with only epic gear, you were unkillable. You can never die. They nerfed that because they removed the skill that stuck with itself, giving you more armor and more resistance. So as a devastator, you had capped armor and 100% resistance. That's why you could never die. And you applied bleed and healed by the bleed. So yes, that was unkillable. The damage wasn't as good, and I was a fan of buffing a little bit the damage for devastator. I don't know how much they're going to nerf, either the survivability or the damage. Probably they're going to nerf the damage and survivability, but they haven't mentioned if it's the devastator. They seal gain, and devastators can gain seal in Worldslayer. I don't know, they may mean the trickster or the devastator. We have to see. There's another build that affects our pyromancer that there are non-existent cooldowns. Yeah, I have tried that. It's fun, and you basically spam your cooldowns with a pax tree. Probably that's what they mean. And yes, you have no cooldowns. The cooldowns will come one every minute if you get very unlucky with your procs. So that was broken. Not necessary, because even with that option, personally I go with another option that don't have infinite cooldown reduction. So that doesn't affect personally me, but for those people that are going for the no cooldown, I'm sorry about you. Probably this is going to get nerfed, but for now, they mentioned that the effectiveness of some builds, I don't know if they're going to nerf the pax trees or they're going to nerf the mods. In the previous patch, they nerfed the infamous fortress build that was giving 40% damage based on your armor, and was the only mod for anomaly power users. Now if they're going to nerf Mage's Rage, which is the only other anomaly power boost damage decent, because there is another mod that gives you either firepower or anomaly power, depending on the skill cooldowns, and in my opinion it's very bad because it can either give you firepower or anomaly power. So why use it as an anomaly power user? Anyway, we only have the Mage's Rage fortress that goes well with Mage's Rage, and there is another, I don't remember the name, that reduces the cooldowns of the skills when you do critical hits, which is okay, a random skill, and has a cooldown. So I don't know how I feel about nerfing certain mods. We have to see before we decide, because the other changes they made, although they nerfed fortress, I was happy with the other changes they made for the classes because they buffed the little things, and they are going to buff the trigger twitch set bonus. It's the one with a sidearm, which I have no opinion to give now. I haven't tested, I haven't seen any build. I wanted to test it, but I don't know how it performs. Probably it either performs, or it's not as popular. We will see, and we'll see how good it is, but let's have a closer look before the final Apocalypse tier grinding. They now basically that the Apocalypse tier grinding, they want to focus on the build crafting experience. Basically, getting a build, crafting, choosing your mods, making different combinations, finding your own build, deal a lot of damage, have more survivability, do things faster, something like that. Yes, that's why I play Outriders, that's why I love the game, the build crafting. However, they wanted and said something I agree and disagree. They wanted to choose the Apocalypse tier grinding, so you want to reach the end game fast, and you use the leveling experience of the Apocalypse tiers and the Ascension levels, and explore the builds through that. So you will try different builds while leveling up. And I agree, as I told you, and disagree. I agree because yes, while I level up I want to choose and try different builds. I disagree because there is no way you can effectively find enough resources to level up and keep up 2 or 3 builds. I don't know what game they're playing. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say we found the perfect build, almost the perfect build. We have, let's say, all the pieces but one, the second weapon and the sidearm, everything else is almost good care. We make compromises in 1 or 2 mods, but we're still the best build for now. So we level up Apocalypse here. We can play still 1 level lower, as I do, and without leveling up, in hopes that we will get some items for our gear. But let's say we don't level up, the worst case scenario. We get unlucky and we found only 1 piece to upgrade. The rest of the pieces have to use a lot of resources. I have made some calculations, around 29 to 30 Apocalypse here, which I am. In case you want to upgrade 6 pieces, not all 8 pieces, only 6 pieces of legendary or epic gear, you need around 900,000 drop resources and around 30,000 anomaly resources. That's a lot, especially considering in case you want to use 2 builds. What are we going to do? Let's say we found 2 apocalypse here or 3 apocalypse here before, we got lucky and we got, let's say, another build and we try to put it on. But now we're 3 levels below the average level. We have to level up. How many resources do we need? Yeah, millions of drop pod resources and 30, 40, 50,000 of anomaly resources. Is that something we can get? No, you cannot. You don't get enough drops from Tarya Gratar. You don't get enough drops from random expeditions to get enough anomaly resources or enough drop pod resources. So that's why I disagree. They have to do something to address that. Either increase the resources you get for expeditions, Tarya Gratar, and also increase the resources you get by dismantling items. This should be at least 2 times, and 3 times I would say as well, it's also acceptable. This way, yes, I would be able to upgrade my gear, find new gear, and be happy. Now, I have to make very difficult decisions, and I cannot enjoy the build crafting experience, as they say. I have to pray to get a proper drop, and while I level up, I have to pray and get at least 2 or 3 more drops, because I don't want to waste my resources in case I want to change my build, because I have this problem. I want to change my build later. I want to try different things, and I already found the gear I want, but it's 3 levels lower, and I need millions of resources, which I need to invest there. So that's the thing I suggest, and I hope they do it. Now, the balance changes, and these changes are not going to come later, and for the Apocalypse grind, they're still looking to make some changes because we do want to level up multiple classes, and they don't want to make any changes now. They will probably make them in the big, let's say, patch. But for now, there are not going to be any changes. They're looking into it. So, bug fixes for Tiago, Mystery, Purchase, and Elite offer rerolls. The bug applies to those that are still in the New Horizon and haven't purchased the expansion. So, there was a chance for the random legendary or for the Elite offers to be Worldslayer gear that you are unable to use. You don't have the expansion. You cannot use the gear. So, that was a bug for those players. So they're going to make that sure, so no longer drop Worldslayer gear below 51 level, but they will still be able to drop the vanity gear for Worldslayer player levels for the base game. So this is for today. They don't apply anything else. There are a lot of comments. I will leave the link in the description in case you want to see everything. As I told you, I agree and disagree to some things, but because for now I'm very happy with the Worldslayer expansion, I do still have fun. There are a lot of builds, even if they're nerf 1 or 2 or my builds, there are still many things I can choose to. Personally, but I do understand if they make nerfs that certain people will be unhappy. We don't have to worry about that now. They're going to do it by the end of July, and I hope they're going to announce which build are going to look into, or some mods. And I do hope they buff some mods and some builds a little bit. Especially some sets. Some sets are very disappointing. Some sets are very cool, but others very disappointing. So that was it for today's video. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. Extra thank you in case you stick around till the end. Feel free to like and subscribe for more upcoming videos for Worldslayer, for builds, for updates, for anything else, and for other video games. And as always, I wish you all a wonderful day.